Have you ever felt, well, torn? That conflict between your natural desires and what you've been told is right or pure? Let's get into that. We're about to explore a completely different way of looking at our most fundamental life force, the very energy society so often teaches us to be afraid of. Wow. That really hits a nerve, doesn't it? For so many of us, this feeling of shame around our natural impulses it's baked into our lives. It's that little whisper of guilt taught by culture, by religion. But what if that shame isn't just wrong? What if it's actually a cage? For centuries, this way of thinking has cast a long, dark shadow over humanity. But here's a thought. What if this shame wasn't some kind of accident? What if it was actually a powerful tool for control, designed specifically to divide us against our own nature?
Okay, so here's the playbook. You take our natural life force, our desire, our sense of wholeness, and you slap a label on it, sin. All of a sudden, an essential part of who we are becomes a problem we have to solve. And here's the result. When you're at war with yourself, you become weak. You become dependent on some outside authority to give you the cure.
And this is absolutely crucial to understand. Fighting your own nature is a battle you literally cannot win. When you try to repress this energy, you don't destroy it. Nope. You just push it down into the basement, where it gets twisted and distorted, creating way more problems than the original impulse ever could have.
All right, so let's pivot here. What if we've been looking at this completely backwards? What if lust and spirituality aren't enemies fighting in a cosmic war? What if they're actually just two ends of the very same spectrum of energy?
This right here is the core idea. There is only one life force, and all of it, every single drop, is sacred. The only thing that changes how it shows up is our level of consciousness. With very little awareness, it just feels like raw desire. But as that awareness grows, that exact same energy begins to blossom into love.
And you can really see that transformation here. The goal isn't to get rid of the energy, it's about bringing more light, more awareness to it. As our consciousness expands, the quality of that energy just naturally changes. It moves from an unconscious pull to a conscious, heartfelt connection, and eventually to something totally boundless.
Okay, so that all sounds good, right? But if fighting this energy is the wrong way to go, what's the right one? How do we actually engage with this incredible force, not by shutting it down, but with real, genuine understanding?
Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. Suppression is this constant war against yourself, and it only leads to more suffering. But observation? That's totally different. It's about making friends with your own energy. It's about just watching it without judging it, and in that simple act of seeing, you allow it to transform all on its own.
And this just reframes the whole idea of sin or impurity, doesn't it? The problem was never the energy itself, the lust, the desire, that life force. The only real impurity is being unconscious of it. That's it. The moment you bring consciousness into the room, the darkness just vanishes.
So what does this journey of transformation actually look like? Well, it's not a battle. It's more of a natural unfolding. Kind of like a plant just naturally growing toward the sun.
You can think of lust as the seed. It's the raw potential, the starting point. It's not ugly or bad, it's simply the beginning. Now you add awareness, and that seed sprouts and becomes the flower of love. And when that love deepens and becomes totally unconditional, it releases a fragrance. That is the state of prayer, of boundless connection. See, every stage is a necessary and, frankly, beautiful part of the whole process.
Here's another amazing way to think about it. How can you possibly climb a ladder if you destroy the bottom rung? It's impossible, right? To reach the highest states of consciousness, you can't reject the very foundation that the entire journey is built on.
So after all this, where do we land? What does it actually feel like to live in this new reality, totally free from that inner civil war, just living as a whole integrated person?
For so long, we've been taught to see our bodies as an obstacle, as something to be controlled or even denied. This perspective just flips that entirely on its head. Your body isn't the problem. Your body is the path. It's the sacred temple where this entire beautiful transformation takes place. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Stop the war with yourself. Start observing with compassion and understanding. Embrace every single part of you, the shadow and the light, the messy and the divine. This isn't about following somebody else's rules anymore. It's about letting your own deep awareness be your one and only guide. And I just want to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. What if this inner wholeness,
This harmony we're all looking for isn't some distant prize you have to fight and struggle to earn. What if it's your natural state, already here, and the only thing you have to do is stop fighting and simply remember who you truly are? Just thinking about that, well, it could change everything.